Hey, what's up, OJ, Cali One? What's up, San Juan Costala? Your boy Mike joined. What's poppin', your boy Mike? What's the deal, fam? You got a nice name, dog. I might have to charge you for that. You know what I mean? I don't know if anybody gave you permission to use my copyright like that. Me and Michelangelo kind of got that thing covered, but I'll let you slide because you came into my live in the first 5 minutes, so I appreciate you. I couldn't see that last name, but shout outs to you as well. What's good, family? It's your boy Mikey Fresh reporting live from the booth. I'm killing these. Young Wayne Carew, untamed and loose. What's one was a spark into a flame it grew. I don't complain to you. Don't complain to me. You know the deal. Thank y'all for joining me again. Mikey Fresh's Night Audit. This is like one of the best things you could possibly do with your 4 a.m. half-hour block. I mean, what's on TV right now? They got a bunch of infomercials about sex toys. They got they no longer have those albums. It would scroll across the screen. It would be like, here and now, I promise to love faithfully. And then it would switch to some other song. I don't remember the next song that came after that. They don't got that no more. All they got is sex toy commercials, news, and like sports highlights, which you've probably watched for the 18th time for that day. Hold on, you know what? Let me take out my headphones because these be bugging sometimes. All right, word. I'm just sitting here trying to figure out, I'm looking at this whopping 1 centimeter of snow out here. I mean, it is really, it is really dangerous. These weather people, man. I was gonna say weatherman, but it's just weather people. It's all of them, except for that one that be dancing and stuff like that. I mean, he tries to add his extra stuff to it. It's still kind of corny to me. He like be doing the Dougie and this and that while he's talking about precipitation and like the cold front. But who am I to judge? He's trying to get it in at work, like us all. We're all trying to figure out what we can do to get the day to go by. So I ain't mad at him. I ain't judging him in particular. I'm gonna exclude him from this because he got just like 2% coolness. But these other people, it's like, what do you gain from just lying about the weather? I don't think it's a lie. My boy Devo and my boy Zach, they be having this discussion in the chat. My boy Zach tends to lean towards when things go crazy with government, big powers, this and that. It's probably conspiracy or this, maybe. And my boy Devo, he kind of usually tends to lean towards, incompetence. It's just people trying to do something. They have a plan. It doesn't really work out. They didn't think about all the details beforehand. And now they're dealing with the second order effects of X, Y, and Z. But like, what do you have to gain from everybody being so scared about the snowstorm? Like, and then nothing happens. Like this, I feel like this happens all the time. I mean, is it just me? It can't just be me. I feel the same. Let me tell you how I feel. Right? Because like anybody cares. I got one person that cares how I feel. What's up, one person? I don't know who one person is, but it says scroll to see old comments. I don't think I got comments. Nope. The only comment I have is just Savage DMV 117 join. Yo, what's up, Savage? He's a savage. Classy, groovy, mattress. I don't know what I said. So this is what annoys me, right? It's like when you get a little bit of news, it's cool. But when you're getting that 24-hour, 7 days a week, 365 news, like, they don't know what to say after a while. Probably by every Tuesday afternoon, they're done with the news, like the actual news for the week. They're done with the news. That Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday around 3:15, 3:17 p.m. And then after that, it's just all filibuster. It's like, and they usually tend to lean towards fear. And it's the same thing in like sports journalism, regular journalism, and weather journalism. That's how it feels like because they're all kind of whack right now. It's like these people get on TV for 24 hours a day and talk about the weather. They talk about it 2 days from now, 10 days from now, a month from now. It's like if you knew what the 10-day forecast really truly was, like if you could accurately talk about a 10-day forecast, I shouldn't see the weather person on TV not but twice a week. Twice in a 10-day period. I want to see that weather person at the beginning to say, hey, this is what the next yo, what's up, TJ 940? Holla at your boy. El Harachi. El Harachi, man, what's popping? That's actually a hot name, El Harachi. Took me a little bit to read it, but that's a pretty good name. I'm gonna steal that. What's up? I'm not Carlos Mencia. Come on now. So where was I at? Let's see, drugs, AIDS epidemic. Okay. Oh, the news. Yeah. So I want to see my weather person at the top of that 10-day schedule to tell me, yo, this is XYZ, what's popping. You know, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be this. It's gonna be that. And then I want to see him maybe on sometime between day 6 and 8, just to tell me either, hey, it's going the same way, or we're seeing a little bit of changes, but just letting you know the 10-day forecast is authentic. If you know that 10-day forecast, I don't want to see you on my TV 5 times every day. Cold Mountains, CLDMTRNZ. What's popping? Just joined. All these people are just joining and just leaving, but it's cool because my first video, there was no joining. Now I got joining and leaving. Pretty soon it's just going to be straight joining, no leaving. Against your will. Y'all can give me these views against your will. You feel me? So how are you going to be talking about you got a 10-day forecast, but you on TV every day? Why comes I check the weather at 7 a.m. and at 3 p.m. it's a completely different forecast on my phone? But I gotta believe you when you're like, no, y'all gotta get home. You get all these tow truck drivers so gosh darn aroused at the prospect of screwing everybody up by towing their car in the middle of the night. On a night like this, when nothing even happened. And that's what happens all the time, dog. I'm not going to call it government overreach because I don't even know if the tow truck companies that work with the government. They might just be working with the mafia straight up. I'm just being straight up. Them niggas only take cash and money orders like this is 2007 or something like that. Come on, dog. Obama been president for 8 years and left in this time span. We still doing cash and money orders? It's because they don't want people tracing. They don't want the government knowing who they've been towing. They don't want the government to know that they tow some people 5 times in a week. I seen it happen, man. I seen it happen. TJ, keep coming in and keep leaving, but it's cool because you keep joining, and that's real. I appreciate you. But it's like I've seen it happen to some people I know. Their car get towed, and mind you, we all honest people here, right? Like, how many times do we park in a spot where we either don't check or we know it's not really right, but we're like, we're only going to be in there for 5 minutes. It turns into 4 hours. We come back, our car's gone. There's a ticket. Now we acting mad. I know that happens to all of us. I know that we be bugging on that tip, but I seen somebody park a car, get enraged, I go with them the next day to get their car back and have their car towed that night. I synced it. And I just feel like it's the same person that's doing it. You know what I mean? It's just the spirit of that mafioso kind of squad. But anyways, I digress. It's just these news people, these news people just like it. All right, so the weather person on a news channel to me is kind of equivalent to like oh shit, you see that? Big weather is coming after me right now. Big climate. Let me set this up better so I can get my properly. Let's see here. I mean, I guess that'll do. We doing this live, y'all, so sometimes this stuff's gonna happen and y'all just gonna have to rock with it. To my 2 people that are still here. I don't even know who those 2 people are, but just went down to 1. You know how loyal people are? With you one day, then they're gone the next. So to me, the weather man, woman, person, the weather entity feels like a punter. Like if a news organization is like a football team, they feel like special teams. They feel like a punter or a kicker. Like you need them there. You got to have them there. You can't be having the news. You can't be telling people news without telling people what's going on with the weather, traffic, and all that nonsense. But like, it's like if they ruin the show, everybody's mad at them. But at the same time, nobody is paying attention to them at all. Which is why Homie has to like do the Dougie and like be like leaning back with it, and you know what I mean, leaning and rocking and stuff just to tell you about atmosphere, pressure, and stuff like that. It's because nobody cares, but they're like a punter or whatever. But if that's what the punter's doing, you know what I mean? If the punter is out here talking about it's going to be snowstorms like crazy every day, they're talking about it's going to be this, it's going to be that, and every day you go out and it's like their accuracy is probably at like 15%. What's up, Toe for 8 tacos with a capital S? You know why? Because he's serious or she's serious. That's why. But so they just be lying. So if they be lying so egregiously and so like blatantly and so unapologetically, like there's never like a hey, like we thought it was going to be like this and it wasn't. Like if anybody lost money or something because of the decisions that we were, telling them about, or sorry, there's never anything like that. If they act that way, I mean, I just can't believe that everybody else that works at that company don't operate the same way. I have to believe that that's the culture. You know what I mean? If they're willing to put a weather person on TV for 27 hours every single day to talk about the weather, like more than we need them to, and they're just making stuff up at this point half the time. If they're going to do that with that person, like, you don't think they're going to do that with somebody else? You know what I mean? With all those other jobs that they have there? I just feel like I watch news all the time and they're always stressing the Capitol. We brought in all these secret people just in case at the Capitol because something's going to happen during the inauguration. And we're so... Nothing even happened, dog. I could have told you that. I mean, plan, do what you got to do. Plan to be safe. It's the president. You got to do what you got to do. I respect the office, but nothing even happened. It didn't even seem like nothing was remotely going to happen. And they just be like, Yo, there was this dude on Twitter. Oh, man, I wish I had his name. But it is what it is. There's this dude on Twitter, this black dude, and I hope this story's serious. But CNN published a story talking about unemployment in America and how bad it's getting, probably blaming Trump for it. And this black dude was put as the cover of that story. And it's him just like, and it's like unemployment reaches all-time highs in America type thing. I saw that dude post to CNN and say, yo, I'm not broke. I'm not unemployed. I have my own business. And they actually featured him in the article saying like, oh, this person has their own business and look what people are doing during this time where people are losing money, they're losing their jobs. And then somebody like this is like setting their whole life up. Like, that's a great story, right? You would think. But they put his face underneath that title and he asked him, he's like, yo, can you take this down? Like, everybody thinks I'm unemployed. And now Black Twitter done took it like they do. And they made it into a whole slew of funny memes. Hilarious. I mean, hilarious. I'm not fronting on that. Black people's our humor is pretty on point. But it's like, it's just like this snowstorm, bro. It's just like lies. It's just like stuff to tell you stuff to make you act a certain way. I feel like it's going to go crazy. It's going to be storming like crazy. Oh my gosh. It's going to be nuts. They canceling school 5 days in advance. Jobs is trying to figure out how they're going to keep people and deal with people. Dog, it's all of 1 centimeter of water I'm looking at right here. And it's water. It turned to rain. Am I mad? A little bit. Oh my gosh, I just can't stand them. It's just always fear mongering, always trying to make people like feel like just the world is coming to a cataclysmic end. Like, but meanwhile, other stuff doesn't get. Y'all know the whole deal. I don't need to get completely into it, but that just bothered me. That was just on my mind. That's not why I wanted to make this video today. I think all these people are popping in because they think I'm gonna give them Bitcoin. I ain't giving them no Bitcoin. Come on now. You think I'm giving away free Bitcoin? What I look like? I put Sike in the title, so if anybody falls for that, that's on them. They got to read the whole title. You know what I mean? Got to read the whole title. So I need some more people in here so I can start asking some questions to this audience. But I'm still finagling. If anybody's new to the stream, this is the first time you're hearing it, or maybe you're listening on Spotify because it is on Spotify now. Maybe you're catching me on my YouTube channel, Mike Cognata. Maybe you're catching me on my website, MikeCognata.com. Maybe you catching me on IG, Mikey Fwizzle. Actually, it's Mikey Flesh. Let me get that one right. You might be catching me in all these different areas. If you are, what's up? But if this is the first time you hollering, I don't know. I'm trying to get hit with this live stuff. I was trying to make some videos, but like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I used to do videos. If you see on my YouTube channel, Mike Cognata, you'll see like old videos from like 8 years ago and stuff where I was trying to do my thing and had the editing, the intro, and this and that. And it was mad fun, but it's like hella time consuming. You know what I mean? And this live thing is like fly. I like that I don't have to like do too much to get it on and popping. Because if anybody that knows me, they know I like to talk. I could talk. I could talk all day. Like I could be talking. Somebody could leave the room. And I'll just keep talking. They'll come back in the room and I'll still be gesturing to the place in which they stood. Kind of like those cartoons, in the cartoons when they go someplace mad fast and it's just their smoke in the shape of their body, the silhouette of their body. I could be just sitting here just talking to the smoke of somebody saying that and it don't matter. I could talk for years. So if I can figure out a way to just like do this, it would be a pretty beneficial decision for me. So that's what I'm trying out. Now, of course, Periscope is going to be dying. I think I'm gonna try out Twitch because that's what people are saying is hot. That's what the kids are doing these days. I always thought that Twitch, not that you had to play video games on it, but I just thought that was like what people wanted, and if you weren't doing that, it was kind of like whatever. But from what I'm seeing of how people are using OnlyFans and how people are using Twitch, it's really open season right now. I'm honestly thinking about making an OnlyFans straight up because I like to cook naked. No, so I'm playing. Now I'm thinking about making the OnlyFans just because, like, look, if there's a site that's going to allow people to have straight up sex on there, they're not going to censor you too much with you talking about, like, I don't know, just anything. Like, I just don't want to be. It's just sad that, like, I'm not going to say I don't. I love Twitter, but like, Twitter just used to be like the Wild Wild West. You know what I mean? Twitter used to be like the Wild Wild West, and now Twitter's kind of like. It's civilized, you know what I mean? And maybe all things have to go that route, perhaps. I don't know. But it's super civilized now, You say something, people get offended. You say something, Twitter gets offended. You don't say anything and you don't get they don't put you in the silo of other people's silos so that you can be. It's just like so much stuff. Like, I just like miss being able, I miss like an app or something just popping up and just being like, this is what it is. This is your playground. Have fun. I feel like everything now is like, have fun, have fun, have fun. And then when you get used to it, it's like, all right, we're going to crack down with mad, unrealistic rules. It's just like, why, dog? Why? Why? I understand on the individual and the personal level why we are, you want to make people around you feel good. You want to make people around you like you and vice versa. You know what I mean? I understand like how people have to deal on the person to person basis, but what is the danger of having a place on the internet where people talk and they say stuff that's unpopular? What's the harm in that? I guess people are scared about slippery slope stuff. Like, they don't want a person to go in there and be like, F all the mask wearing Russian hat people. And then all of a sudden there's like a holocaust of that. You know what I mean? Like, I guess people are trying to get away from that. But like, that stuff is happening all over the world and nobody cares. I shouldn't say nobody because there are a lot of people that do care, but that stuff is already happening in very visible situations and not a lot gets done. But for some reason, it's like you can't allow somebody online from Wyoming say something that they believe in. No, that's preposterous. Why would you do that? Why would you give them the platform? That's what people say to Joe Rogan. It's not about the conversations, it's you give them a platform. It's like, we're human beings. We're dancing. We're human beings dancing in a world that we have tried to civilize ourselves, and in a space on the internet that we're trying to civilize ourselves. It's not, we're not in school. You know, it's not like this thing works this way and we have to make it work that way or else the whole thing comes down. It's like you can have multiple places on the internet that do multiple things. Why is it okay? Why is it okay that I can look up any kind of porn that I want? But there's not places on the internet where a person is allowed to just to say, like, I don't believe in vaccines. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, I can watch a person do some heinous acts with some titles. Yo, I need to do a whole video set on those porn titles. Those porn titles, yo, because everybody's in the zone. You know, they're all aroused when they go to look at adult entertainment. So they're in that zone, especially for dudes. You know, they have this term. It's a clarity. It's a certain clarity that you get after, like, you know, you've spent some time doing things. There's a certain clarity that you get after that. Then all of a sudden you're thinking clear. You know where your car's parked. You know what shirt you got on. You know where you're at. You gain some of that consciousness back. But before that, sometimes you just be in the zone. You just be ready to. You're just trying to find what you're trying to find. And some of these titles be slick, disgusting, dog. But you be in that zone, so you're not trying to. You just like. But these titles be wild, dog. Okay. I don't know if it's okay. Maybe those people get sued all the time, but it's just so much porn. I just got to assume it's okay because I don't think they regulate none of that. Maybe they regulate some of it for like some award shows and stuff like that, some porn award show. I can't remember what they call. But like everything you see on the internet like that, it's just like wild, outrageous. But then a person gets online and says like, oh, this is my opinion about something. It's just like the CEO of the app has to come find you personally and tell you got to leave or you got to change something. You got to come back. Like, what is that? I guess that goes back to like my boy saying, is it conspiracy or is it negligence? Is it diabolical or is it incompetence? I mean, I can't possibly imagine, you know, I do a lot of hating on LeBron James too, you know, basketball hating, not like real. I don't know him as a man, so I'm not judging him as a man, but just as a basketball player, I'm from Boston. I can't stand LeBron James. You know what I mean? It's just like, it comes with the territory. But like, to give him some credit, like I can't possibly fathom what kind of pressure that's like to be 18 years old, 17 years old, and to essentially inherit the keys to an entire organization in the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like you are their number one person. I mean, maybe their CEO is the number one person, but for all intents and purposes, if you got LeBron James, he's your number one person. He's the number one person to make that you need to make happy. And then on top of that, he's the face of the league. So he's doing all kind of stuff, league stuff that most players aren't doing. I can't even fathom the type of responsibility and pressure that is for like a 17, 18-year-old, you know. And in the same breath, just to make that connection, I can't fathom how someone like Jack or just anybody that starts a little app and then it becomes a global thing. I can't possibly fathom what that's like. And I can't possibly fathom the types of pressures that they're under, the types of threats I'm sure that they're getting. I mean, I'm sure they're getting threats from people, from regular users, and I'm sure they're getting threats from world leaders and stuff like that, you know, because they've inserted themselves so heavy in it now that it's like, now once you start choosing sides, right? Once you start choosing sides, now people are going to try to coax you to be on either their side or they're going to be enemies with you because you're on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Which is why it's smart, I believe, not to take sides in something like this. You're on a social media. I feel like you got to let people just duke it out, especially on a platform like Twitter, where like the whole point of Twitter is like, it's like words. You know what I mean? The whole point is exchanging words, exchanging ideas. And the second you, as a company, you start to create guidelines that makes it impossible for people to, I shouldn't say impossible, but it makes it easier for a certain side to talk about points and other sides. Like it kind of loses a little bit of its essence. It doesn't make it a bad app. It doesn't mean that it can't be successful. And I'm not talking down on it in that sense, but I guess I'm just lamenting the overall fact that there's just not a place on the internet where you can just be yourself. And I don't mean be crazy. I ain't talking about no steakandcheese.com. Like, that's crazy. But some people like that. Hey, whatever. But I'm just saying, like, just like a place where you can just do whatever it is the app is saying to do, or do whatever the purpose of that app is, without feeling like, you put in jails and all. It's just like so much, like, demonetized, and you got to have an X amount of. It's just like, can I just share my video, please? Why are you so involved? And it's like diabolical in this sense. Not truly diabolical, but play diabolical. It's play diabolical in the sense that they make some of these apps, they make themselves so involved and so integrated into society, but then we'll try to hide behind, hey, it's just a company. We're just or I guess the argument, I'm not gonna say that's their argument, but some people's arguments, it's just a company and they can do what they want to do, and that's true. But like Walmart might be exact bad example, but like let's take something that doesn't exist no more, like Radio Shack, for instance. Radio Shack integrates themselves in your life as much as a Radio Shack should. As a Radio Shack should. Electronics, you need a plug? I got you. You need a little remote control car? Because for some reason, I think that was what was keeping them afloat, was like plugs and remote control cars. Those are the only things that they sold. So you need a plug, you need a remote control car? That's cool. But you didn't see, like, I don't know, you just didn't see like Radio Shack like in restaurants, and see Radio Shack. It's just everywhere. It becomes so much a part of your life that now when you start to regulate how people use it in a weird, twisted way, you're regulating how people are allowed to interact with their world. Which is like, if you kick somebody out of a Radio Shack, that doesn't change how a person interacts with their world. That doesn't change. I mean, if they need a remote control car and they just can't, they can't find one nowhere else but a Radio Shack, and they need to buy their son or their daughter a remote control car, and it's the only, you know what I mean? Maybe in that sense, but you can't kick somebody out of Radio Shack and then have that affect their life and then affect how they go to college and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But with some of these algorithms, apps, programs, whatever you want to call them, I don't even know if you can call them apps anymore. They're like tools. They're like parts of society. It's like a car. That's like the only time you get your car taken away from you, your right to drive a car, is if you kill somebody with your car on purpose or accidentally, or if you just get caught too many times drinking and putting those people at risk. But what is at risk with exchanging ideas and letting people not argue, but letting people discuss those ideas? Like, how does anything get learned? How does anything get discovered? How does anything get understood at a deeper level? I mean, challenging thoughts has to be a part of human growth, human evolution. So like, why would you create such powerful tools, integrate them into society so heavily, and then try to tell people how it's just a lot, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. Man, this was a pretty negative Periscope, huh? I mean, I feel great. I didn't mean to put y'all in the mood, but I think it's been about 30 minutes. So you know what? I'm going to call it. If you want free Bitcoin, you came to the wrong place. So I hope I got somebody out there. There's a bunch of people I shot. All those people I shot out in the beginning of this video, if I don't shout them out again in the next video, they were only here for the Bitcoin. And if they were, it's all good. It shouldn't be here anyway. So to all my people, stay up. I don't even remember what that catchphrase was from the first one. It was something about stay fresh, stay grimy. Was I saying that? I was telling people to stay grimy. I shouldn't be telling people that. I'm not going to tell you nothing motivational either, because I don't want these to be motivational. So I'm kind of stuck in this place where I don't want to be a negative Nancy, but I don't want to be a motivational Mitch. You know what I mean? I want to be like negatively motivational. That sounds about right. So everybody go out there and do your best mediocrely, but do it well. I guess that's the only way I can sign off. All right, y'all. Peace.